In ancient Greece, there was a raging battle of wits between Plato and Aristotle. Plato believed that true knowledge comes from understanding the eternal forms and ideas, which exist somewhere outside this physical world, while Aristotle said, well, no. We use our senses to observe the outside world, and then we form principles and ideas of how things work through reasoning and abstraction. Well, a bit later, Epicurus came into the picture, similarly viewing that knowledge is derived from the outside world using our senses, which, according to him, were infallible, meaning we always see, hear, smell things how they truly are at that moment in time. The same idea even applies to things we see when we are dreaming. So yes, according to Epicurus, the things we dream about are actually real. How the hell is that even possible? To get an answer to this, we must look at how Epicurus viewed the world around us. To him, everything consisted of only two things: atoms and space. All things are made up of atoms, like physical objects, or emerge from their combinations, like life, mind, and so on. These atoms can vary in shape, size, and velocity. For example, for something to result in consciousness, the atoms that make this happen must be very specialized, very fine in texture, and very rapid in their movement. In a similar way, the atoms that form our sense organs and produce sensations also have to be extremely specialized, able to reverberate around the whole body and produce sensations. So we have these sense organs made of specialized atoms, right? But how do we perceive things through these senses? Well, Epicurus says that all around us, aggregations of atoms emit a thin film, which is like a replica of themselves. Now, these small films excite our sense organs in a particular way and form complicated patterns, and so we experience the whole thing with its natural color, shape, and smell. So the key thing here is that all of our perceptions are atomically caused, that is caused by these small films that are replicas of the real atoms. And since these films are perfect replicas, well, our senses are never mistaken. Now, in addition to our normal sensations, Epicurus says that we also have super sensations that do not go through the sense organs but are impinged with images in the mind atoms themselves. These images, right, these films that enter our mind directly, come from space and produce vivid sensations like dreams. And since, again, all sensations are caused by these perfect atomic replicas, well, it means that all sensations show us the truth. And so in this way, our dreams are also true. When talking of these senses, Epicurus mostly talked about gods. Since men dream of gods, or even when they are not dreaming of them, they derive a perception of them, well, the gods then must be real. So according to Epicurus, gods are real, and they are far, far, far away somewhere deep in interstellar space. Now, the thin films which emanate from the atoms of these gods reach our mind atoms, excite them, and so form an image of these gods. And since these thin films are perfect replicas of the real atoms, the images they portray are also completely true. But if dreams of gods are real, then our other dreams must be real as well. And so somewhere far, far away, there are space emperors, there are monsters, there is a world where you are the king, and a world where you failed that insanely important test. Keeping in mind that one of the key ideas of Epicurus' view of reality is that space is infinite, then there are also infinite worlds. So maybe such realities we dream of could somewhere maybe exist. This sounds quite out there, and in reality it is, but Epicurus formulated such ideas for a reason. To Epicurus, all things needed to serve the purpose of enhancing human life and ridding it of pain. His philosophy, which was quite materialistic, needed an ethical component as well. And so these Epicurean gods have risen, and their existence is proven by our perception. These gods were ideals of the Epicurean. But contrary to gods in other religions, the Epicurean gods did not ever meddle in human affairs, neither they were creators of anything. They were perfect beings, and being perfect, they had no need to meddle in human affairs or create anything. They were unmoving in their tranquility, occupied with reflections of their perfection. Having such gods, Epicurus hoped to alleviate fears of the gods from other religions, which were often depicted as vengeful and constantly meddling in human affairs. And so, a new religion was created. A religion which did not deal in fear and worship of the gods, but rather dealt in imitation of them. and that imitation meant reflection and thinking, just like the Epicurean gods reflected on their perfection. Obviously, though, this opens a whole can of worms. Like, what if I dream of vengeful gods? Are they real then? Or is there some kind of characteristic that proves that it's not a god? Then what about imagination? Is imagination our own creation, and hence is not a projection of real things? Or is it also a projection? In that case, all stories, all myths, and all religions are also real. But yeah, that is it. This idea is pretty out there. I'd say pretty cool, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.